I'd like to welcome Jasraj Hallan to Coach Harp show. Jasraj, I just want to say I see that you've been doing a lot of stuff in the community. Also, I want to congratulate you for your biggest win there of what you've been doing overall. So, how about a little bit of introduction of what you do and who you are?
Well, thank you for having me, Coach Harp, and I can just say the same thing about you. We really appreciate all the community service that you do and inspiring all the youth. I know you've used your experience from before to really inspire others, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Jasraj Singh Hallan. I'm the Member of Parliament from Calgary Forest since October 2019. I grew up in this community. I was born in Dubai, moved here when I was 5 with my family. So grew up here, went to high school here, along with my wife, who I knew for a really long time. We did a lot of service here in this community for the last, I don't even know, 20 plus years. And growing up, I played a lot of football and other organized sports and just learned a lot doing that. Have a lot of experience with mentoring at-risk youth. And just keeping youth engaged. We've done a lot of charity work, and that's all through God's grace that we've been introduced to so many good people. Growing up, with my other siblings, I have an older brother and little sister. Parents who are super hardworking brought us here for a better life. We basically raised my little sister because my parents were working so much. And you know what? That's the beauty of this country, that we got this opportunity to do whatever we wanted to do. After high school, I did my school in accounting, owned with my other business partners a home building company. But through that, we got to do a lot of charity work and just got into politics, and here we are today. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
That's awesome. I noticed that you talk about a lot about people, helping people out. One of the things is, what's your biggest passion in life that drives you every day?
You know, just growing up, and whether it was going to our Gurdwara or being around a lot of our seniors who I have the utmost respect for, serving the community, or what we call seva, was the biggest thing that still continues to drive me. My mom at a young age told me the importance of seva, and selfless service just doesn't come through giving money or donation. Sometimes it's giving your time and energy. So it's important for us to continue that. So when I wake up every morning, I know that it's just another day that we can help other people out. And that's what keeps me going every single day. I learned a lot of that from my parents, and I learned that from the seniors who I was blessed enough to be around.
That's awesome. I know you talk quite a bit about family. So what do you value family means to you?
Like I said, at a young age, my parents showed me, just like many other immigrants, what hard work was. My mom I was blessed enough to have a mom that always pushed me, never really acted like a mom, was more like a friend to me. So I was very open with her about even all my struggles. And I was very blessed to have that. My dad has always stood on the principles of hard work and always doing work with full honesty. And those kind of date back also to our Sikh values in the same way, where we have a term, kirta karo, which means hard work with your own hands. And so I grew up with those values, and always both of them had the value of giving back. So it was always important that you should be more successful and make more so you can give back more. And you know what? I feel really blessed that we're able to do that.
How has sports shaped you up through your life?
As you know as well, Coach Harp, sports is something that brings people together. You learn how to work in a team. You learn how to play a role, because everyone has a role to play in a team. And it actually is pretty humbling, because sometimes you're down, sometimes you're up, but at the same time, you have to recognize that you're just a part of the team that helps them succeed. So whether it was small business, whether it was a charity work that we've done, or even now in politics, through sports, I learned that you have a part to play, and it's always for the success of the team. So if we can recognize that, it's really important. And also when you're playing sports, diversity is such an important role that you play inside of there as well, because it's not just one community that you're playing with. You're playing with a diverse group of people with diverse backgrounds. So for me, I think sports is so important for us to learn life lessons.
Who has impacted you the most throughout your childhood?
My parents were obviously the first people to always inspire me. I have parents that still push me, that will make sure that I stay in line. They'll keep me humble. They'll make sure that I don't get out of line. So I'm very, very appreciative of my parents. Also, again, growing up around a lot of seniors, where I feel like I've got a lot of my blessings from, they've always inspired me that you always do work for the betterment of society and always do work for the vulnerable. And at this time that we're going through COVID-19, this pandemic that we're going through, it just shows me more that we need to reach out to our most vulnerable and help out people like our seniors who really need it right now. So my parents, being around seniors, they've really inspired me in my entire life.
As you're talking about your parents have inspired you, you have also inspired me by what you said to me from day one and where you have come to right now. So that, in my eyes, held very high value for what you have done for the next people and how they're coming here. I just want to say thank you for all the service you do. As we're moving on, why do you feel people need a voice in our society?
It's always a rule that we should always stand up for the vulnerable and the voiceless. Our Sikh values, Coach Harp, mine and yours, they date all the way back, and that's what our core value is, that we should stand up for righteousness and we should stand up for the voiceless. I feel like I'm very honored that the people of Calgary Forest Lawn have elected me in this position to represent them. But I also have a responsibility that when I'm outside of this office, I need to be the voice of all that are helpless. And sometimes that doesn't just come in speech, it comes in action. Whether that means that we're inspiring the next generation or we're helping raise funds for a charity, all these things are a voice in one way or another. And it's our job to spread that word and make sure that we're setting up the next generation to be the voice that wherever we left off.
That's awesome. I noticed how you talk about the next generation. I also noticed on social media that you do a lot of posting about mental health and giving back. What's the drive that makes you want to connect to all types of people?
Just my experience growing up, I've always wanted to become, in a way, successful so I could help others, give others opportunities that I never had. I was a very shy kid growing up, and I went through a lot of bullying in my life. I had to literally fight through elementary school. There was a lot of racism in Calgary at the time when we moved here. But I've always felt that those were great opportunities. Those were learning experiences for me and my family. And for me, that's what drives my passion for the next generation. I know how important mental health is because I've been through that. I've been bullied. So for me, helping give others opportunities, and sometimes it's recognizing, because not all people speak, not all will tell you what their problems are. Sometimes it takes a little bit of recognizing and being able to talk and help open someone up. So again, I feel like it's our duty that we have to help all those that are helpless. And sometimes you don't fully understand until you start a conversation. So us, Coach Harp and myself, like, we have a role to play in this world, that we have to show leadership and we have to show that we're ahead of the game. So us reaching out to others, I think that's where the conversation starts. And mental health these days is extra important, that we need to focus on.
I like what you say about it's a team effort. It's not just one individual. I noticed you and I have had a lot of conversations over a year there. What is your advice to the next leader of generations to come?
My biggest piece of advice is that, like you said, this is a team effort. You know what? It's about putting your head down and putting in all your efforts. for the betterment of mankind. Like I said before, it's not just money or donations, it's your time and effort. Whatever you can give back, because we all know we have this one life, we have this short time on earth. The most that we can give back, that's our contribution to this world. We want to leave a legacy that we were here to help others. And always do your best, which means if you're going to be an accountant, be the best accountant that you can be. Same thing if you're a lawyer or a coach, as you are. Be the best at what you can be, because that's what's going to inspire the next generation to be the best that they can be. We are living role models. So it's like I have this saying that if you're at the Gurdwara, you can be a Sikh in the Gurdwara, but you need to be a Sikh outside the Gurdwara too when no one is looking. So for us to inspire the next generation, that's my biggest advice, that be the best that you can be and contribute as much as you can in this short time we have in this world.
Another question here is, how have you transitioned a lot of the stuff that you learned through life into the business world?
Like I said before, I've always been taught to be as successful as we can so we can give back more. When we're dealing with the public, or we're dealing with people that are at risk, you're putting out a lot of fires. And that's what basically in our business, and now in politics, you're putting out a lot of fires. But the most rewarding thing is that you're able to serve people. People come to you for help, and there's no greater feeling when you're able to solve someone's problem. And that's another thing that really drives me. That's that seva aspect with someone comes to you, don't leave them empty-handed.
There's one thing I like about, you just said something about there's people who look for problems, then there's people who actually solve the problems. I think what you and I do is we out there encourage the next generation to become more problem solvers. So absolutely. I want to say, Jasraj, thank you for taking your time to be on Coach Harp Show here today. If anybody that wants to connect with you, how can they reach out to you?
Absolutely. They can reach out to me, whether I know nowadays it's easiest just to reach out by social media. So add me up. Jasraj S. Hallan is my social media handle for basically all social media. And if there's any specific thing that we can do out of our office to help out, feel free to contact 403-207-3030. That's our office number. Or you can email me at jasrajsingh.hallan@parle.gc.ca. And all this information, again, you can always Google me and find out our information.
Thank you, Jasraj, for being on the Coach Harp Show. For everyone that's watching the Coach Harp Show, stay tuned. We're going to have some more interesting videos on Coach Harp, www.coachharp.ca. Thank you for watching Coach Harp today.